and I'm
Okay.
still going. I'm going up towards your direction anyway, Adnan. So regardless if I pass you or if you guys meet up on Wednesday, I just may be in the Jersey area, just depending on where what time you guys leave. And what day do you guys leave, Jersey?
We leave New Jersey on the 9th, which is the following Monday.
Monday.
So next Monday, not this Monday, but the Monday after.
Fair.
Yeah.
Our end destination would be Niagara, as far as how far
Okay.
north we would go, just to kind of like just park. So we'll be right outside of Toronto,
Okay.
just to figure out how to cross the border or when we're crossing the border.
Okay.
Um, and we also have a pending trip to Israel coming up. So I wanted to mention that to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
That we already we tried to book tickets with Air Canada already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something else that we'll be planning on in the next couple months is going to Israel. Hopefully JB as well, looking for some site locations.
Right.
Gotcha. Good.
So
Good.
Okay.
but yeah, if you guys want to set it for Thursday now, then that at least give you guys a rendezvous point and give me a goal on, try to call on Monday and Tuesday and see how quickly I can get up there.
I
But
I think Thursday would be ideal for me because I'd like to be back in Jersey for Friday. But ideal day for me this coming week, Thursday. That gives me a few days up here to do some stuff before I get down there. And yeah, take my wife around to Manhattan and stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday would be ideal. I think that'd be good if we do it on Thursday, and then I might give. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. So if you line it up for Thursday, and then I'm gonna try to make it a day trip, so I'd come early. So if it's Thursday, when would you leave Ohio, JB?
Oh, regardless, I'll probably still leave Wednesday. I just already be in DC waiting on y'all.
Okay, all right. So
there,
if I leave early in the morning here, because it's 2.5 hours from where I am to DC, so I can kind of do it in
Okay.
a single day. So if I leave early, then I can just come back kind of in the evening, kind of thing, and make like a full day thing out of it. And then, so that's possible to do a Thursday. I think that's good.
Yeah,
That'd be a
that's
good one for
fine.
me.
That's fine. I mean, if I still come Wednesday, like I said, I'll just be over there dealing with that other stuff, man. When y'all get there, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
then hopefully Robbie can come up, or whatever it is. But yeah, I think Thursday's good. That'd be good.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
question.
That just give me an extra
JB,
day.
Okay.
minus the cost. What's your availability to go to Israel to
Me?
film? Well, both of you guys. But I was asking JB first. JB, what's your availability to travel with the I Talk to Strangers delegation to Israel, and we want to do some peace stuff?
When would this happen?
Right now, as early as late October or early November.
Oh man, I'll create some availability if that's the case. I mean,
Wide open border. We ain't got to travel with no documents and no restrictions. So we can kind of go there, do what we do, and we have an invitation to be there, talking to some important people.
It's possible for me to do it, but that depends how the hotel project goes because we're gearing to start up basically when I get back. So it's possible for me. Um,
It's being pitched to
October,
me
November.
as a delegation where a team from Canada and a team from the US meet
Right.
in Israel to
Mhm.
accomplish a lot of things that we're trying to do here in a place where people actually listen to us
Okay. Okay.
with the media.
Um,
So I thought, and they said, why don't, they said this would be the perfect place to talk about your Peace Village project. And I was like,
Good call. I'm sorry. That's okay. Sorry. You're up on me. Oh.
makes sense to me.
so
Yeah.
that's what I'm working on. If we can't pull off DC, then that's the next thing on my radar is to try to pull that off because we all have a stake on why we should be there.
Hmm.
We all have a
Let's make
Okay.
it. Let's make it happen, man. I mean, without even knowing all the details, if we don't, we foolish.
It
Yeah,
sounds when I ran this by a few people, they said this sounds like the next thing to do, and I was
yeah.
like,
Okay.
doesn't it? Yeah,
I mean, if you think
because
about it, we trying to create the wheel, man, and
So,
these people trying to give us a car body.
yeah, they're
They
just
they
like, just
trying
come
to give
talk
us,
about it,
yeah, they just want us to come talk about it.
talk about it.
okay.
They said we
And
could
by
find
all means,
land out here too. And I was like, I said, wouldn't that be something to have some like actual piece of land in Israel being donated because we built a peace village?
man, look,
I think it's pretty cool.
the only
For
question
all
I would
races,
have,
creeds, and religions.
I mean, why not, man? My only question would be to them is, are we just coming to talk? Because I can Zoom call with y'all. I ain't got to come all the way to Israel
No,
to talk.
True.
this is not the talk where it's like a meeting. This is the one. It's a tour, so we get to tour the whole Holy Land sites on all
Okay.
sides. But it's a conversation because we are the ones who are coming in saying we know how to do this and we want to learn or try to either figure out what you guys are doing right or maybe we have something to offer because it's a lot of people not talking to each other. Here are some things that maybe we can do to increase the generational conversations or increase the Adnan's Muslim, right? We're
Yeah.
coming from a Southern Christian background, but look at us working on this project together, and we don't let that get in the way of our progress when we're working towards peace. We'll be sharing
And I'm
that testimony as brown and black
ethnically I'm
people.
Lebanese, and my parents are from Lebanon. I've been there about 5, 6 times too, so it's
It
kind
gets
of been
even better.
interesting. Yeah,
It gets
yeah,
a real interesting conversation when we sit down in the Holy
yeah,
Land and start really talking about who we are and what we really
yeah.
doing with the cameras
Right.
on us. People talking about who are you people?
What have you
We can't
done?
be
Well,
that
we just did this hotel. Well, we just did this. We just did that. And we're
yeah.
three guys,
That's why
and we met up, and yeah,
it'd be an
I think.
official tour. It's like a state tour where we come in, we'll do press.
Yeah.
It'd be like for 10 to 14 days, visit the Dead
Right.
Sea, visit Jerusalem, all the tourist stuff. But while we're there,
Right.
we want to ask you guys some questions about why you're doing this, how you met each other, where'd you get the idea from? Because this sounds like you guys are trying to rebuild the kingdom. And it's like, call it what you want.
Yeah.
I
Middle
mean,
East.
that's
Do you?
actually what it is, man. And if we going over there pitching this to them,
Right,
we gotta pitch it that way.
right.
Mhm.
We gotta pitch it that way. So by all means, if it's more than a conversation, I mean, like I said,
Yeah,
without knowing all the
it's a stake in
details,
the ground. It's like
that's what it's
you can put a flag in the ground.
What do
that's what it
you?
sounds like. So if we go over there like that, man, we'll come back with we'll have some stuff.
That will attract investors. We told people where we had the land.
Right, right, right. So yeah,
Do
yeah, I can
you?
see a whole lot of reasons for doing it. Go ahead, Adnan.
I was saying. Do you think that this meeting in DC we should videotape something? I think we could. We should. No, to create
Oh no,
content of any.
oh no, we absolutely videotaping. We recording
Okay.
everything we do. Everything we
Wasn't that
do
Okay.
is
part of the
recorded.
what you needed from us? Those daily vlogs. This was part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
the daily ad in his life.
Yeah.
He in
I
DC.
have yet. I have yet to do my next one. I just, like I said, I will be making another vlog probably tomorrow in my hotel. I'll be doing that. I'll have some alone time. I'll be doing that. I'll be doing another vlog and doing that. So when we meet up in DC, that would be a nice thing to add some more content, and
Yeah.
we can do that. And then yeah, then let's leave this Israel thing. I'm totally open to doing it. For me, from a whole different perspective, is because um, yeah, I think it would mean a lot. It'd be very impactful that this guy whose parents are Lebanese immigrants immigrated to Canada, all that comes
Came back
back
and
to
built a
there.
village
And
Israel.
what's that?
You came back and built villages in Israel. That'd be funny.
Well, the thing is, I don't see it that way. It's because you know what? There's rebuilding a village in Israel, or it might not even be there. It might be on a border area between that and the West Bank, and it might be something that's, you know what I'm saying?
Refugee,
That's where I can see it, is where there's a big blockade
refugee
thing.
Palestinians, those who are disenfranchised, being pushed out of their land. Now I got a piece of the state on
Okay,
their land.
here we go.
Yeah,
This is why I'm saying we
yeah,
gotta build it as that kingdom.
Got it.
Because once you
yeah,
get that way, you that's exactly what's going on. So now imagine if we come in and we build a village to where whatever happens and people get kicked out or whatever, instead of trying to cross borders where they ain't wanted, they simply come to the village, man.
Yeah,
True.
That's the whole move right there. That's the way that thing need
yeah.
to be built over there. If it's got to be labeled as a holy land or a holy village or whatever the case may be,
That's how
Hmm.
we expand elsewhere in the world because it's credible. If you do something in Israel, everyone has to take you serious. It's Israel.
Yeah.
It's like
I
it's
man,
mean,
I
like
ain't
this
stamp.
is
It's
interesting.
like doing
I'm
something
intrigued.
in New York. If you're doing something financial, you did it in New York, you made it. Don't do it in Oklahoma. It ain't gonna make a difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
same thing in
Oh,
the
here's another
media
thing
and
I
the
was going to
film.
ask you guys. I'm thinking about vlogging some stuff when I'm in New York. Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to be going into Manhattan, and I want to do some sort of a vlog while I'm there, of some sort. I'll probably do it on my phone or something, and then I'll just do it when I'm back to the hotel. What do you think of that?
Keep it gritty. It's real.
You
Okay.
see how I'm looking at him like, man, is it a question?
All right, I'll do that. That's exactly what I
Man,
was thinking of doing because
yeah,
they just
man.
in New York they just redid this thing where they have these old elevated train tracks. They're turning them into green space now, urban green space. I don't know if you heard about this. So
Okay.
I was thinking about making a vlog in one of those spots to do it there, and then just talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing, and then I'm going to say, well, I'm going to DC and this and that, and then I can videotape my journey down to DC and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I'll upload that as well. And then I am working on that 3D model of what I showed you guys, the general site plan. So I'm working on that, but I got my little laptop here. The video card ain't what my home one is, but I can still work on it. It's still sufficient for now, so I can make it work. And then yeah, I think that should be good. So Israel,
JB, I want
what brought up that country specifically to start up?
to got it.
What made you think of that?
Well, JB, even what you had said, JB said something earlier today when I called him. This is a fallout plan. Um,
That's exactly
my
what it
first
is.
time my first time to Israel, like it's always been that conflict, peace in the Middle East. You've always heard about it. But when I saw
Yeah.
it, I really felt like, yo, the earth has been in some combat for a long time, according to
Yes.
all these scriptures, right? So
Yep.
I couldn't look at anything in the new world as new anymore.
Hmm.
If from that point I was like, if you really wanted to change the world, you really have to you got to incorporate Israel into it because look how much is incorporated into Israel, both in politics, technology, land disputes. All of it is like centered in one geographical location on Earth. The idea of going back had been floating for like 3 to 5 years. It
Hmm.
was why we were going back. Now all of it's coming sense because the invitation reopened. Robbie, you need to get back here. Here's what we can do if you get back. And I'm listening to all the things I can talk about now. And it's like these are and that's what the contact in Toronto has said. Um, talk about that. The Peace Village, your programs. These are the things that people want to hear coming out of the West that they don't hear. So this delegation will need to travel to promote the message because we're the ones who collectively are the conflict resolutors and the ones who know how to peacefully resolve situations and know how to talk to people of different origins, ethnicities. We're supposed to be the experts. So go there. And once it's played backwards, you went to Israel and made yourself credible. Just do it there, and then everywhere else falls and plays like a domino. And I was listening, and
Understandable.
I was like, I never thought about it that way because everyone thinks that if you do something in the U.S., everyone's going to follow. Not true. If you went to the Holy Land where you got Christians and Muslims all fighting for, and Jews fighting for who's right, and you sat them all down, it was like, all right, we need to all do this together. That means you got all the religious believers around the world paying attention to what you're doing because you did it at the right place. Now we're all doing this for the altruistic reasons of help the poor, help the needy, help those who are down to the kingdom. It all makes sense to like, hey, you know what? They got this thing going on in Jerusalem. We need one in South America. Just to copy the image of what's happening there actually gives that it's like the Vatican of the West. A lot of people listens to what's happening where Donald Trump moved, the embassy, where Joe Biden was just, that's what they said. They were like, Joe Biden just went. You got to follow up with what's going on. Like these world leaders are all going there talking about peace and peace and peace. There's like, Robbie, just go and be the. He was, remember, he fist bumped the Saudi prince. They were
Yeah.
like, Robbie, that should be you. I was like, you know what? I can see that. I can see myself chilling with a 30-something-year-old Saudi prince talking about, here's some ideas for peace village in Saudi Arabia, and then fist bumping.
Yeah.
Man, let's be real about it, man. Coming from our perspective, why wouldn't they listen?
That part.
Especially,
We,
not to toot my own horn, but especially from a guy like me going there, that would be a lot more impactful because unfortunately, a lot of people in my communities and other communities are indoctrinated saying guys like me are the enemy and vice versa, that they're the enemy. So if you sit down at the table, then you say, well, hey, like I said, hey, I work with Jews. I've known lots of Jews. I've met Israelis. One time I was in Los Angeles, I met Israelis. We sat all freaking night and we chatted and everything was freaking awesome. It was great. And when I went to Beirut, I ran into a couple of Israelis as well, and they were freaking awesome. They're just awesome. They were like, so what happened was originally they came to the United States and they always wanted to come to Lebanon. So I was in Beirut like 2016, and I was out, whatever. And then and I met with them and we just sat down. We basically spent the whole evening together, just chatting and having a good time and discussing a lot. And we noticed, man, like one thing I can tell you is that this whole thing between that, like person to person, Israelis don't hate. They don't hate Muslims. They don't hate.
That's what we bring out. That's the truth, right?
They really don't.
Story, JB. Now you got those stranger stories, right? Now you got all these little podcasts where people are able to talk their own truth, and it's off of a platform that can't be censored.
Yeah, they were nervous to talk to me in the beginning, and so was I, to speak openly. But hey, like I said, it's like I said, at least the ones I've met, everyone's that I've met, they don't. They really don't. They go, man, that's all politics and governments hating each other and divide and conquer, whatever it is. We're all ancient relatives. And one of them brought up a very good point. He said the blood that runs through your veins and mine are pretty similar, man, if not the same. And then I looked at, and it's true. I look back, I did that 23andMe, 10,000 years, the majority of it's in that area of the world where my DNA is. So why isn't that true? So the point I'm trying to make is that this seems interesting. I'm open for it. I think it's good. I just think it needs to be executed in a certain way with a certain level degree of caution, because it is going to be controversial. And when we're over there, it could be controversial to certain people, whether it's from the Palestinian side or vice versa.
Look who's starting the conversation. Some black guys from the United States. How dare we? What do we know about conflict? What does this have anything to do with us? Right? That's what they're going to say. And then for us to actually have something come out of our mouths that actually makes sense, I hope people get offended.
I don't care if they get offended or not, because I'm gonna simply put it to them like this, man. First of all, me personally, not only am I that black man that y'all read about in America, I done lived that.
A lot of people want to cook fried chicken with some black people from the South. Like, when you get us to talk about some things, everything got seasoning on it. Everything got flavor.
Good way to put it. Good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it.
Everything got seasoning on it, man. So for somebody like me personally, that's got my background, and then all the conflicts that I done had to. I'm that grandfather at this point.
The grandfather.
I am that grandfather at this point, but I just happen to be that grandfather that's still young enough, age-wise, and even younger mentally, to where I can still relate a message. I can see the left and the right. I can see it. So for me to be able to come over there and then in so many words explain to these people, like, come on, man. If somebody like me that come from the inner cities of Chicago, y'all know we'll go with that. So if I can talk peace, come on, man. What the fuck is y'all doing, man? Y'all sitting up arguing about words, man.
True. It does simmer it down, because JB, you have more clout than Obama does.
I hate to say it like that, but I got you right because he didn't come up the way I came up.
at
He
all.
didn't.
Mm.
He grew up in
He didn't
Hawaii.
deal with the conflict. The boy lived in Hawaii, man. He lived in
The
Hawaii.
rainforest, the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. So who better to
Yeah,
speak about conflict resolution than somebody who done literally had to
conflict.
resolve a conflict? And I mean a real conflict where somebody literally got a gun pointed in your face. There is no
Somebody got
more
shot down.
resolution. Come on, man. So that's a
Talk about
different
it.
type of conflict resolution, man. You got to have a different type of conversation. You got to have a certain mentality about yourself. You got to have a
Mm.
certain way that you carry yourself and present the message that you're trying to get across.
And
Yeah.
you do that when you cross borders. You know how to go into the right neighborhood and say and do the right
Adnan
thing.
just sat here and he basically just gave us a mini master course on how we need to conduct ourselves when we go over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like I visited that part of the world many times, and yeah,
That's
there's
interesting.
certain ways that we just got to keep in mind in terms of talking about this. To not so much to not so much to bring people to the table. It's just to keep them at the table because I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. This is gonna be one of the things they're gonna say. We have been literally trying to solve this problem since in 70 odd years, and before that 2000 plus years. What makes you three people so special?
Can I be God's? Can I be God's messenger?
Go right ahead.
You be the devil's advocate. Can I be God's
That right
messenger?
there. Boom. So what's your response to that?
All right, I
What
would
would be your
say
response to that?
honestly, I would say point proven. All the previous methods haven't worked. Let's try something new.
Okay. See
And then
that right there? We'll
you
keep
just
them at
gotta
the
let me
table.
go with it. You gotta let me go with
Yeah.
it. And if it
Well,
works,
okay. What's the new thing that you want to do? And then we go into what we want
and
to
then I
do.
pass it on to JB, and JB gives twice as much as I would say because of his experience on why this needs to be there. He'll sell this
Yeah.
better than I can sell it because he knows why there needs to be peace. I just came into my understanding of my manhood of why this world's messed up. JB could write a whole dissertation about it. I don't even got to convince people why we need to start new conversations. From Martin Luther King to Malcolm X to Muhammad Ali to Marcus Garvey.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
like we keep saying that we need to take care of the people. When are we gonna start taking care of the people? So here's our recommendation of how we're gonna take care of the people for
Man,
a nice low price.
man.
Yeah.
For a nice low price. And then we go into the how we're sustainable and recycling and taking care of the conversations and then we're like, just try something new because I can go back in scripture and tell you some kings that didn't try it like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I will tell you when it comes to if we were to go into the Palestinian section, you don't have to worry about language and you don't have to worry about culture or any of that kind of stuff.
You the homeboy.
I'm good. I got it all covered. You'll be fine. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. So I'll be able to open up conversation with virtually anybody there and not have an issue.
And imagine if we just had we had all of the languages down pat.
Yeah.
All of it. Just to make sure we were never mistranslated in anything.
Exactly. So
I think that's what you're trying to make sure that we're not mistranslated in our
yes, because the thing is when you go into because you're gonna have to. If you want to talk about that, you're gonna have to go into the Palestinian area. You're just gonna have to. And you're gonna have to go into there and in the Palestinian areas, depending on where you are. So if you go to the mixed cities such as Haifa, the Palestinian areas inside of Haifa, there's certain mafias that run that certain area, right? Because it's kind of there's no real governance in that specific area. You got the West Bank, which is governed by the PA, Palestinian Authority, and then you got Gaza, which as much as I like to go in there, it's just going to be way too. To bring the other side to the table, we can't go there at least on the first visit. Right. West Bank will be a little bit easier, but I think the best way to do it is we stay there and we go into the cities, which has both of them currently residing. Right.
Dimona has a large population of people who used to live in Chicago, JB, and they live next to a nuclear reactor. So just a nice little trip on the Outer Banks. We're gonna discover a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people to talk, and then once they hear this, they're gonna be like, "Yo, we've been waiting for this." That's the other thing that you proved right, Adnan. They have been waiting for an answer.
Yeah.
And truth be told,
because
man, a lot of times, depending on the situation, and let's keep it simple, and let's use a sports team for an example. A lot
yeah,
of times, you got to bring in people from the outside to solve these kind of problems, man,
That's right.
because
hmm
you got so many people on the inside that got
That's
personal
true.
interest in what's going on.
That's true.
Somebody got to be able to step out, even if you're dealing with your own personal conflict. They will tell you you have to step outside of yourself, look back in before you can fix it. That's just, or what they say, look at,
That's
you
a
got to
dope
look at the
process.
mirror, look in the
That's a dope
mirror,
process.
whatever. But at the end of the day, this is why they change head coaches, because at some point, even though I may be saying all the right things, the fact that me, the head coach, I'm not reaching the players because of the way either my message is delivered, or the people could just be tired of hearing the same old person talk about the same old thing over and
yep,
over again with no results.
And then that's why they should listen to us because we're tired.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
they say,
yeah,
blah 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 blah.
That's what
That's
I'm
what it sound
saying.
like.
And when
It
we
does.
come in, and I mean,
yeah,
come on, man,
Fresh.
they don't know it, but from the outside looking in, I'm sitting here looking at the screen, man. I got this dude at the bottom that's rattled off six different countries that he done lived in. So let's just call him a foreigner. I got this black dude sitting up in the right hand side of my screen. Yeah, we both black, but this dude didn't
mm,
grow up nothing like I grew up. So that make us two different people. And here I am sitting on the left side. For lack of a better way of putting it, I'm that hood cat, man, that seen something different. So I could
OG.
have went left, call it what it is. I'm that OG. So I could have went left. But
True.
instead of
mm,
going left, I looked over there, I saw what was going on, and I seen it lead up to this point, so I went right. So my point
mhm,
is, at some point, just looking at us from the outside looking in, somebody gonna believe that we had to resolve some type of conflict somewhere for us
Just to
to
talk.
even sit down at the table.
That's fair.
yeah,
You see what I mean?
hmm
That's fair.
I'm an old
Generational,
dude. It's generational. I'm an
cultural.
old. There you go.
You're
Generational,
right.
cultural, all of that goes into play,
All
man.
of it.
So we need to
And
make
we're all
sure that
coming
they
from different
understand that.
sectors. we
All
we
that,
come
yeah,
from different
man.
angles. Yeah.
Come on, man. So for us to even sit down at the table, it's got to be some type of resolution, because I could be mad at Adnan just because he come from. See, this is what I get from Israel and all of
mm,
these different places over there. And
yeah,
see, this is why I can't wait to talk to him, because from the
yeah,
I know.
outside looking in, man, I could be mad at Adnan just because he come from over there. He over in
True.
Canada. I'm in the U.S. I can
yeah,
immediately say, fuck Adnan, Robbie, I don't want to deal with this Canadian motherfucker. He done been to, he from over that way, man. I don't trust that motherfucker, man. I could be
Nah, that's
saying,
it. That's
uh,
Israel
you see what I
Palestine.
mean? You see what I mean,
yeah,
though? I could be an ignorant motherfucker. I can say, I can call this motherfucker a Unabomber and don't know shit about
mm,
nothing. But that's the ignorance that I see going on over here,
That's
because
actually accurate.
everybody, don't nobody like nobody because just where they come from.
yeah.
As a black man, I'm sick of that shit. Who deals with that more
Especially
than me?
especially as a minority. Just
I
I'm
was
tired of
born and raised in Canada, and my parents came in 1975 to Canada to escape that civil war that was happening there in Lebanon. So
wow.
plain and simple, that's why they came there. Well, my grandfather brought my dad; he was in his teenage years, but
Wow.
yeah, they can easily put that off the table and just say he's just one of those crazy people that they show on CNN and whatever the hell it is. And
Man, they
don't
gonna try
get me
all of
wrong,
that.
it's happened to me before.
They
It's
gonna try
happened to me
all of that,
before,
man.
believe me.
They
I
gonna
think
do
that's gonna
that
come
just
back.
because they don't want the project to succeed, man. They gonna bring
I
all
think
of
it's
that
gonna
stuff
come back.
up.
I think JB, you and I are the leaders of the new counter governmental or anti-government movement. We're the leaders of the resistance. Adnan, you're an instigator. You're a proponent. You're sympathizing.
Jeez, okay.
And we're just out here just committing every terroristic Al Qaeda like crime simply because of look at our beards.
Oh man.
Man, come on,
What
man.
can be
That's the
bad said?
narrative. it could be that simple, man. That's just how they label us.
Hmm.
So that's where admin is absolutely right to where. And this is what I heard too when y'all was talking about the translation part of it. For
Mhm.
lack of a better way of putting it, where I come from, you better be paranoid first, or you're a dead man.
That's
So
fair.
Mhm.
so when I hear this whole translation thing, I love it because I was already thinking about the fact that when we go over there, it's gonna be people that don't want us over there trying to change nothing.
Already. That's
So
very
One
they
true.
gonna
hundred percent.
already they gonna already be messing up what we saying in translation on purpose.
And don't
One
let the
hundred
skin
percent.
color, don't let the skin, black lives don't matter everywhere. So
Come
I
on,
started
man.
watching
You
those
know
documentaries.
come on, man.
They deporting black people back to wherever they came from because they really don't want them in Israel. They really don't. They've been asking questions, pointing at things, saying this is mine, this is ours, this ain't right, and they really shut them down just like we're back in the United States. So imagine us being in a
Mhm.
foreign land trying to push some peace agenda where people looking at us like, who are you?
Who are these Americans and Canadians? Who they think they don't know our struggle? They don't know what we're talking about. They don't know what
Anti-government.
they're talking about. Blah. We're gonna face all that. We're gonna
So we
face
should
all that.
already
They don't
have
know
our
our struggle. They don't know
bases.
anything about it. Yeah.
Our bases should be situated with the underground. I'm telling you, they really gonna come after us. They're gonna really
Yeah.
come after us on some
Oh
real
yeah.
how
And
we
Well,
got
this
honestly, I
strategy.
think we will with this maneuver. It's going to be very bold. That we are going to be on some governmental radar. I'm just letting you guys know, just because I'm familiar with
Green
that part of
and
the
red.
world.
A lot of governments are gonna green light us for a lot of projects, and a lot of governments like China are gonna red light us for a lot of projects. But I'm already on
Right.
China's red list for working for government. I work for the
Right.
UN government and NASA, so I can't. If a Chinese government official capture me, they'll just be like, you know what? We either can't use you or we're gonna lock you up because you're gonna either destroy what we have or make it better. And everything that we can do, I think, in our industry sense is the same. We can either be weaponized or we can either harmonize. That's the only two things that we can do with our skill set. So whether it's there or here, they're going to try to weaponize us and call us a weapon of mass destruction of some sort.
So why do it there then? Why not start somewhere else? This is again devil's advocate
Oh, it's
question.
safe. It's safe. They have an iron curtain, and once you're inside of Israel, it's the last place you can actually expect anything bad to happen where people can't protect you. They have procedures for everything. Where I'm sitting in Georgia and they ain't prepared for anything. I'd rather be in a place where if a nuclear bomb did come to me, something shoots it out the air. Israel is one of those places where World War III, Israel is probably a nice place to be.
Possibly, yeah, could be.
A lot of land, and if you're already locked in, you're locked in. And the last thing I'm worrying about is someone coming in. Now, if you're somewhere else, tanks can just roll up on you and just call it what you want. It's a nice landlocked, secure location. Also, take a land bridge to Africa.
now that part